Now, over the past few days, something has started to feel different. And you might find yourself realizing, wow, this isn't loud, nor is it dramatic. No, if anything, this feels more precise. It's like your attention has narrowed a little, or like your body is paying closer attention than your mind is. You don't necessarily have words for it yet, but you know something has shifted in how you register things. And that's what this week is really about. Hello, beautiful ones. I'm Cindi, astrologer, mystic, and I guide people through periods of deep change by helping them understand what the sky is doing inside them. Welcome to Forecast the Shift Timelines, where each week we're not just watching this year unfold, we're noticing how it's asking us to live differently, to show up differently. So here's how it may show up this week. Let's first, for a minute, let's just imagine you agree to something that you've agreed to plenty of times before. But this week, it feels different. So let's just say it's Tuesday afternoon. You're already moving a little faster, but you're handling it, right? Your phone lights up while you're in the middle of something. It's a message from someone you care about. It says, "Hey, can you help me with something quick?" And you already know it's not going to be quick. But you say yes anyway. Not because you want to, but because it feels easier than explaining. So you do it. You keep your tone nice. You keep the peace, as usual. And nothing bad happens. There's no argument. There's no drama around it. But later that night, you're standing in your kitchen or sitting at the edge of your bed, and you can feel it in your body. It's not like it's sadness or anger. It's more like your system is tight. Your chest feels a little compressed. You notice your shoulders don't drop. And you tell yourself, it's fine. I'll sleep. I'll reset. I'll be better. And you do sleep. But the next morning, you wake up and you still feel off. And that's when the thought shows up, plain, almost confused. Why do I still feel like this? I didn't even do that much. That's the week. That's the moment right there. Because what's changing isn't how much you're doing. What's changing is that your body isn't letting you recover from the small ways you override yourself anymore. It's not going to allow it anymore. And then there's another moment. It might happen a day or two later. You're at work, or you're in a meeting, or sitting in a conversation that technically doesn't require anything from you. You're just sitting there and you're listening. And someone keeps talking, circling the same point, adding details that don't actually change anything. Now, normally, you'd tune out a little. You let them finish and recover later, right? But this time, something else happens. You feel it almost immediately. Now, it's not irritation exactly. It's more like pressure. Like your body is aware that time is being used in a way that doesn't match where you are anymore. You notice yourself sitting straighter. Your jaw sets. Your breath gets shallow. And the thought that comes isn't emotional at all. It's not. It's practical. And you're thinking, this is costing me something. Not in your schedule, but in your body. And here's the part that's new. You don't recover from it afterwards. Even once the conversation ends, and once you're alone again, that tightness stays. And later, when you think back on the day, it's not the workload that stands out. It's that moment, that realization of, I used to be able to absorb this, and I don't anymore. And that's when patience drops. Not because you're becoming intolerant, but because your system is no longer padding misalignment with extra energy. And here's where timing matters, because weeks like this don't come from nowhere. There's a full moon active right now, and full moons tend to do one thing very well. They take something that's been internal and they make it personal, especially in Leo. And it's not emotional, it's personal. They bring awareness out of the background and into the body, into dignity, into what feels sustainable and what doesn't. And you're becoming very aware of this. Your body is. And at the same time, there's another shift happening underneath all of this. Uranus is stationing this week. So Uranus is slowing, stopping, and then turning direct by the 4th. And when that happens, things don't quietly adjust anymore. Patterns that used to self-correct aren't doing that anymore. Habits that used to work themselves out, stop doing that. It's like your system is saying, I'm not compensating for this anymore. I'm not doing it. And that's why these moments feel so physical. It's why patience is dropping without anger. It's just dropping. It's why recovery doesn't come after the fact. And because there's so much focus right now on systems and structure right here, and the collective pace of life, this isn't just personal, although it feels like that. A lot of people are feeling this at once. This isn't crisis. Some people may want to respond that way, but it's not crisis. It's a very clear signal to most of us. Something old isn't flexible anymore. And to this, I want to say something clearly. Nothing this week needs to be fixed. I want you to hear that. And you don't need to decide on things either. This isn't about changing your life. This week, it's about noticing where your body has already changed the terms. The fact that you are aware is enough for now. And for those of you who are already working with this kind of awareness over time, I hold a quieter, ongoing space where we stay with it more deeply. So, if this week feels quieter than you expected, but heavier in very specific moments, that's not something to push past. It's time to just notice. Okay? I want you to notice what lingers now. Notice what your body no longer smooths over for you. Notice where time doesn't stretch the way it used to. And let me say this again. You don't need to respond to it yet. This is just the beginning of a longer unfolding through February. Okay? And it will make more sense as it reveals itself. Peace, by peace. But for now, awareness is enough. So until next time, beautiful ones, remember, keep your frequency clear, your choices intentional, and your heart in the flow.